Hi guys, and welcome to this video. Today we'll be presenting a comparison between two tyres from Schwalbe's range, the Schwalbe Lugano and the Schwalbe Durano. This should be a really interesting comparison between one of the standard tyres from Schwalbe's range, the Lugano, and one of the newer tyres, the Durano, which features the SmartGuard belt running through the middle of the tyre, which is said to offer the most puncture-resistant protection of the range. So, let's take a closer look and see what we have. So it's approaching the winter months here in Melbourne, and I anticipate I'm going to be spending a fair bit more time riding out on the trails as part of my daily commute. Yesterday, whilst riding out on the trail, I managed to sustain a puncture on this wheel over here with the Lugano fitted. I thought it might be a really good opportunity whilst changing out the tube to also look at changing over the tyre. The Durano is a tyre which I've had for a little while, but haven't really had the opportunity to try as yet, so I'm really excited to fit it onto the bike and see how it performs. The first key feature of the Durano, as I mentioned, is this SmartGuard belt, which runs circumferentially through the middle of the tyre as a puncture protection measure. And the second key feature that you might notice is that it's also a foldable tyre, so it comes pre-packaged in this box and so. I think this makes it a really good spare tyre option if you're travelling. It's probably a little bit big for your standard saddlebag, but it would be really suitable for carrying in your jersey pocket or in a small backpack. So let's have a look at some of the details of this tyre. So here's a closer look at the tyre out of the box. So as you can see, it's a folded tyre. So as we open it up, we've got to stretch it out a little bit. You can see the SmartGuard belt running through the middle of the tyre. It's somewhat flexible, but easily pushed out and fitted into position with your fingers. So I can roll my fingers through the tyre, opening it out. Just straightening out some of the kinks in the tyre tube. There we go. So it's not perfect, but we are getting pretty close to the point where we should be able to fit it, and I think those kinks will straighten out themselves. So as we come to the squeeze test between the two tyres, as you can see with the Lugano, we have a flexible, pliable tyre. As I put pressure through the tyre, I'm able to bring the edges together, so it reflects the elasticity and flexibility of that tyre. With the Durano, we've got the SmartGuard running through the middle, and so as I put pressure with my thumb and my index, I'm limited in how far I can compress the tyre by that SmartGuard. So key difference between the two tyres: with the Lugano, we've got a flexible and pliable tyre. With the Durano, we've got a more rigid tyre with this SmartGuard protection, which should provide us with some resistance and protection from puncture. So I just wanted to show a couple of images of the Durano Plus. This is a cross-section of the tyre. As you can see, there's the SmartGuard, and as you saw on the video, when I compress the tyre in from the sides, I'm limited by the edges of the SmartGuard that restrict me from compressing all the way in. And there's a underlayer as well, so that seems to offer 3 different layers of protection. And this is just taken from bicycle rolling resistance, which is to show the puncture protection offered by the tread as compared to the sidewall. And this is taken as a comparison against other road bike tyres that they've reviewed. So altogether, the Durano is a pretty solid tyre, and hopefully it lives up to its puncture performance. So I've managed to fit the tyre on the wheel, and there's a new tube underneath there as well. So now we're left to give the tyre a bit of a pump. So I'll just go about inflating it. So it all seems pretty good. So you can see that the SmartGuard runs all the way around the wheel. Again, feeling pretty rigid, it's pretty solid. Still, that with squeeze test, I can't push it any more further than the pressure that I'm putting with my thumb and my index on either side, so that's as far as I can compress it in. And otherwise it seems pretty good. So next step is just to fit it on the bike. So there you go, we've fully fitted the Durano onto the rear wheel of the bike and it's ready to go. So that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Let us know in the comments if you've got any suggestions about tyres. Have you used the Durano? How have you found it? How would you compare it to other tyres that you've used? I'm keen to see how this tyre goes over the coming months and whether I actually do have the puncture protection from the SmartGuard, and I'll give you an update in the comments. Thanks for joining and see you next time.